The air in the hall was heavy. The lights dimmed. 1,000 eyes fixed on the man standing at the podium. Ibrahim Traoré, a leader known for his defiance. A man who spoke with fire in his voice and steel in his eyes. And on this night, he wasn't just addressing his own people. He wasn't just speaking to Africa. He was sending a message to America, to one of its most powerful judges, to Clarence Thomas and his wife. The words that left his lips would echo across the world. And what he said shook the silence of the room and made millions lean closer to their screens. Because this wasn't just politics. It wasn't just law. It was about truth, about justice, and about who dares to speak it when no one else will. The crowd rose to its feet as Traore walked in. He wasn't dressed like a polished politician. No tailored suit, no rehearsed grin, only a military jacket, a steady stride, and the look of a man who had carried the weight of his people on his shoulders. He stepped up to the microphone. For a moment, silence. The kind of silence that stretches, pressing on the chest, forcing every ear to listen. Then he spoke, his voice deep, measured, unshakable. There are moments, he said, when the truth must be spoken plainly, not hidden, not decorated, just truth. The audience leaned forward. They knew what was coming, something big. Traore paused. His eyes scanned the crowd. Then he looked straight into the camera. This message, he said slowly, is not only for my people. It is for Clarence Thomas. And it is for his wife. Gasps rippled through the hall. The world shifted in that second, because no one expected him to say their names. No one expected him to call them out, directly. The tension thickened. Why Clarence Thomas? Why his wife? Traore didn't hesitate. He leaned closer to the mic. Justice, he said, cannot serve two masters. It cannot bend to wealth. It cannot bow to politics. Justice must bow only to truth. The crowd clapped cautiously. The cameras zoomed in. This wasn't rhetoric. This was confrontation. Clarence Thomas, Traore continued, you sit in the highest court of the United States. You carry the robe of judgment. But what use is judgment if it blinds itself to the cries of the oppressed? The room trembled with whispers. Some nodded, some frowned. All were spellbound. And to his wife, Traore's voice hardened. Do not think the world does not see. Influence spoken behind closed doors has consequences felt by millions. When the home whispers compromise, the court echoes corruption. The crowd erupted in gasps. Some clapped, others booed, but no one looked away. The host of the event tried to interject. President Traore, perhaps we should. But Traore cut him off with a raised hand. I will not be silent. Not when the world is watching. Because silence is complicity. And complicity is betrayal. The hall roared. Thunderous, chaotic, uncontainable. And yet, within that roar, Traore's words struck like lightning. Sharp, unforgiving, unforgettable. The moment that followed was pure fire. Traore's voice rose, fierce and unwavering. Do you not know the cost of injustice? He thundered. Do you not see the blood that cries from the ground? Do you not hear the voices of the poor, crushed beneath the weight of decisions made in the comfort of marble halls? The audience went still. Every sentence hit like a hammer. He turned again to the camera. Direct, personal. Clarence Thomas, history will not remember your comfort. It will not remember your wealth. It will not remember your power. It will remember whether you stood for truth when truth was costly. It will remember whether you defended the widow, the orphan, the oppressed, or whether you closed your eyes and signed your name to their chains. Silence. Complete silence. Not a chair creaked. Not a breath dared to rise. Then Traore leaned in, his voice dropping to a whisper. And to your wife, remember this, when influence guides justice into darkness, both bear the weight of that sin. The robe does not hide it. The title does not erase it. And the world does not forget it. The words hung like smoke in the air. Heavy, lingering, impossible to escape. The audience sat frozen. Millions watching at home leaned forward, their hearts pounding. And in that unbearable silence the truth landed, harder than any gavel. Finally, the crowd erupted. Not in boos, not in polite applause, but in a roar, a tidal wave of sound. Some cheered. Some cried. Some shook their heads in disbelief. But all knew. They had just witnessed something rare, something dangerous, something that would not be forgotten. Traore stepped back from the podium. He didn't smile. He didn't bask in the noise. He simply nodded once and walked away. The cameras followed him. The world kept watching. Clips of the speech spread within hours. Social media exploded. Headlines blazed. Debates raged. Some called him reckless. Some called him courageous. But no one called him silent. Because silence was never his weapon. Truth was. And that night, he wielded it like a sword. And whether Clarence Thomas and his wife chose to listen or not, the world already had. Maybe that's the message for all of us. That when power bends, and justice wavers, it only takes one voice, fearless, uncompromising, unafraid. to shake the silence. And that voice came from Traore.